I am so powerful. My mind, oh, it amazes me sometimes.
Welcome back to my channel. Your favorite off-brand YouTuber is here to sell you a new MLM today. I know it's not my usual upload schedule, but I am currently in Korea right now due to some like family stuff, so I can only upload once a week for the next 2 weeks, including this one. So yeah, but to add on to my trend of like being a mediocre content creator, I am here to sell you an MLM that many other people have sold to you, but like with a worse build and like way late. So like we're double downing on being bad.
You want to try me?
I recently got Flitica from a Galaxy Summon, I think. Yeah, right? Like very amazing. And I always wanted to try her out last season, but I didn't have the spare speed gear at the time to actually pull it off. But it's preseason, and like the intro meme, like I'm trying it out and thinking that I'm big brain for doing something everyone else is doing. But yeah, you'll see me that like great English. Fuck. You'll see that I am still stuck in my para spammer ways. Like, it's like that meme of like, you have one unit above 310 and you think you're a cleaver now. That's basically me. But yes, I like picking Flitica with para because all the good units into Flitica, like Politis,
Switching to support mode.
Celine, kind of Dilibet. Flitica actually doesn't care about any of those, and she's actually really good into APOC, and if you draft her with souls, which I do because Steny is my bae, you can actually pick her against a lot of these like annoying standard picks like Destina or Degen AOL. While I am confident in my para speed, I have to ban Ran because my Flitica is not 310 speed. Unfortunately, she's actually on scraps right now. But I am thinking of upgrading her to like somewhere into like the 290s range if I can, because I've been growing more and more. I don't know how to say it, but I like picking her is what I mean. Yeah. In the first match, I'm not cleaving, guys. Do not be fooled. Even though my team is literally all cleave units except for Steny, but it's fine. It's okay when I do it, I think the greatest strength of Flitica is that she's very flexible, but her only weakness is that she's slow compared to like Lua, Para, and Ran. So she opens you up to getting cleave, but if you aren't getting raced, like because Para discourages people from racing you, it's actually not that bad. Flitica here does have some weaknesses though, like getting 15%ed and getting raced, but other than that, she's really good into standard drafts, I feel. So if you have Flitica and like the spare gear, lol, try it out. And one thing that's also a pro of using Flitica is that she has Guiding Light. And Guiding Light is a busted artifact. So you get to have the best of both worlds, Like, you don't have to be fast. If you don't know, there's this YouTuber called epicseven, I think? And he recently had a showcase video. But especially as you go into the higher ranks, if you slam down units with, like, confidence, yes, some people will still see that and race you and, you just lose, but a lot of the times people will have to respect your picks. Like, that I've made Emperor 3 times in a row now, but in my first 2 seasons of Emperor, my speed gear was actually pretty bad, but I slammed down Conquer Lilius like she was 300 speed, and a lot of the times people have to respect that because they just don't know, and if they take that risk, it's an automatic lose. So that guy basically cleaved. Oh yeah, that guy, like epicseven, basically cleaved his way up to Emperor with his fastest opener being like a 272 obstacle. Like, his mind actually is like so big. But, you know, I can't do that because that's a little too much for me. Like, I like winning. So, and I also like not playing 2,000 games a season. Like, but it is a viable strategy. Like, my Weedrid as an imprint, for example, he's only A, but I pick him anyway because he's like one of my only speed imprint units that I have built that aren't like highly contested. But yeah, Flitica didn't do too much here, but she sets up my team to do stuff. I think her value is that she strips off annoying buffs without placing debuffs, and she CR pushes, and that skill null is like surprisingly very useful. My opponent picks Conqueror Lilius into me, like who first picks Conqueror Lilius? Disgusting, so I punish that with a Gigafast, Peyra, and Stenny. Yeah. Ugh. It's just one of those things. I'm just trying to find a new playstyle right now because since Hwa-Young is getting nerfed, I don't do too great into these like cancer standard picks like Meteor Cowrick, Senya, without like Hwa-Young there to one-shot them, which I guess is like a criticism of my playstyle that I can't deal with standard units without using busted, broken units, but you know, let me have my fun. You know what I mean? My opponent picks Edward and Shu, and of course, it's not a video if I don't get terrorized by this fucking rat, so I guess this is what we're doing today. I'm kind of lost on what to pick here. I'm thinking about picking Sylvan Sage Vivian, but I don't like the fact that she can get stripped by Hand Guy, and so I have to threaten the Edward band with Caesarea, and thankfully it works out because if he pulled my bluff, I would have just fucking lost. But whew, you know. See, my opponent expects my Flitica to be fast, which is why I don't think he banned Peyra. Because if he knew my Flitica was only like 275 speed, he wouldn't. But it's okay. I actually think this is a mistake here at S2. Because I might need her to reset. Or not reset, like take off the skills. Take off the counter attack buff. Sorry, it's like English is a hard language. Later in the match, but I decide that I wanted to strip the Senya, I guess. And one thing about Flitica's buff that is really nice is that they removed the CR push from the S2, which is the AoE attack, and moved it to the S3, so she doesn't proc things like AOL anymore. So she gains a lot more usability. But one thing you have to watch out for if you draft like I do with like Peyra, Stenny, and Flitica is that you need the fourth unit to be really tanky, or like someone that doesn't mind getting hit. So like APOC would fit here, except I find APOC isn't as aggressive as I like, so I don't pick her as often. But I'm thinking of building a Rylet, because I do have one SSS from a few seasons ago when I used a speed Rylet to nuke people until Rimuru came out and then traumatized me forever. But one good thing about this team is that if you play this team with like Flitica Peyra plus like Sylvan Sage Vivian or Spirit Eye Celine, Flitica and Peyra take so many turns that you end up with a lot of souls that you can easily use. So that's a one big plus. Like, and Peyra and Flitica are very good utility units. So all you need are like very solid DPSs like in solo carry games, which is why like Stenny and Rylet come to mind. And Hwa-Young honestly fits that build too, because with Escort she becomes incredibly difficult to kill, but Anyway, if you ever want to pick Flitica, just realize this is in your future, where she just gets banned non-fucking stop. Because into standard, she's actually very difficult to deal with, so that's also something to consider. That's why I didn't put my best speed gear into her, because like, why put your speed gear into something that's getting banned, you know? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. And my opponent, you know, like, you know the draft. Do it, like, please let me know in the comments, like, how I should do these videos, because I was just starting off because I had fun making YouTube videos, but like, I am genuinely interested into knowing like how I can do better. And low-key, a lot of my drafting phases are the same because I have a very predetermined playstyle where it's like, I like first picking Payra. If my opponent's speed contesting, I'll pick like a soul carrier and imprints. If they're not, I'll pick like utility units. My opponent here though, like there's another shoe here to terrorize me, which is like fucking great, I guess. And an AOL, but I banned the closer here because my one thing that I really like about Flitica that I did not like about my other units is that before I built Flitica, I had to build CR pushers like Closer Charles or like Flan or one of those units, but those units are not proof to, are not like acid proof, while Flitica is because of Guiding Light, and that makes her really annoying. So like in this instance, like my opponent S3s my Meteor Karak, and I'm like, okay, great, like don't care. My Flitica shuts down AOL before they can do anything. And I'm deciding whether I want to nuke this shoe, and apparently I do, I guess, which is like great. I hate this unit, by the way. If you pick this unit, no rights. And they're on Snow Crystal too, because of, like, why not, I guess. I think I go for the kill on shoe here because I'm not very scared of APOC killing me, and my Stenny's on the higher end for damage. And luckily shoe dies, so like, you know, justice. The evil was defeated, and my opponent FFs here because APOC solo DPS into my team with no attack buff is kind of ambitious, you know. Oh, I will apologize too if the sound quality or like narration quality isn't up to par because I am not at home right now, so I don't have the most opportunities to make like a good recording. So you just have to keep that in mind and bear with me. And I really appreciate your patience and support. Like, I've actually been getting pretty surprised at the overwhelming support and views my videos has gotten lately, and I'm very thankful for like my past guildies for supporting me and my friends that watch my content and stuff. And yeah, I actually, like, as I said, I do want to start streaming soon because I feel like that suits my personality better than like editing, but we'll have to see. Yeah. There's not much to say about like the drafting phase. Again, like, I'm one of those people that likes to pick the same things over and over again if I like them. Like, for example, there's this K-pop song, EXID by EXID called LIE, and when that song first came out, I literally had that shit on repeat for a whole summer. Even my parents could sing it from the top of their heads because I would play it out loud. So you'll just have to bear with me. Like, my drafts are uninteresting at the moment, but I'm working on it. Like, I'm even farming Banshee for this shit. Like, can you believe? But getting into the match, like, I can't press S3 because my team's really squishy, and with the Mercedes counters, they might just fucking die, so. And I can't even stun the Mercedes because she's resisted my stun, which is great. I decide to just S3 the APOC with Flitica. This is one of her best uses, by the way. Like, if APOC doesn't threaten to what's it called? Revive a target with her S3. You can actually like ignore her for the most part with aggro teams and then dogpiler 1v4 at the end, which I find really nice because then your squishy units without guiding light or stealth don't really care. And see, this is what I mean by the skill null is like actually pretty valuable because it provides a lot of protection to the team. Like it'll protect you from a lot of common AoEs like Shu, Alencia, like Mercedes, like Landy if you really need to. And it being a strip means that it's good into other guiding light units, which I feel is like very underrated. And the reset, like you've noticed with what is it? What's that unit? Like Kaorik or Kisei, that it's a very underrated mechanic, but it's quite good. But this is one of the weaknesses of my drafting style. Like I didn't realize this at the time. I was just like, oh, me have steady, me need attack buff, unga bunga. So I stealth with Peyra. I S2 here to strip off the barrier of Mercedes, and I S1 into APOC for the blind chance. But I did not realize that that would cause my Flitica to go into stealth, which means that his APOC is free to target my Stenny, which is kind of a choke or Monka Giga. Luckily, I'm good at this game. I dodge, and with escort and the blind, we managed to survive, but that could have ended really badly if Steady died there, because my Flitica is not on a DPS build, so it would have like kind of choked. I'm kind of hesitant to attack the APOC because I think this APOC's on seed, right? Yeah. But APOC lives another turn. Luckily, escort is a balanced mechanic and survives. And I am free to CC lock this APOC into the next century, so we win. But it was really close. This is why I'm thinking of building like Rylet, because with the new Rylet changes and Urvalen RT, I feel like drafts like this will be really good where people are focused to tank into Rylet, but it'll also have the protection of like skill null and escort to like support him so he doesn't like instantly blow up and die. But yeah, this is a really word filled and rambly showcase of Flitica. These are my stats. As I said, she's on some like leftover copium gear. It's not an effectiveness ring either, so I think it's an attack ring. Flat attack ring. Yeah, but it's not the most impressive gear, but you can see that she does provide a lot of value, so I would highly recommend that you try it out. But thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.